Welcome to Illustrator Exercise Monogram. So what I'd like you to do is download the file that's provided on Canvas for this exercise. You can go to File and you can do Open Document. So wherever you have it on your desktop, in Documents, on your computer, find that file and open it up. I have this file on my desktop. It's right here, and I can hit open to open it up. It'll tell me that it already exists. So here it is. I built this document for you. I want to go over how it's built and then what is expected for this. It is about monograms. I want you again to watch the video that is available about the history of monograms. So please do that. There's one thing I need to show you about this file. I want you to click on layers. So grab layers and drag it over. If you don't see it over here, you can go up to window and you can grab it in Windows. I built this so that you will start here and you're designing. So layers can be locked and unseen. So see how you can't see the copy? All the copy is under this layer 1, and this layer 1 is locked. So if you try to draw on a locked layer, you won't be able to. See how you get that circle X? You need to be on a layer that's not locked. So make sure this top layer is highlighted, which will now allow you to work on it. Illustrator's artboard. So each one of these is a document, a small document within the larger document. This is artboard 1, 2, I even named them. You can see that there's a name for rhythm and shapes. So the first part is under shapes, which are all 4 of these. And then the next one is type, P and R, playful and rhythm. And those are 4 more that fall downwards. And then monogram. So still thinking about playful and rhythm, I want you to do your initials. And you can see in the artboard, here you have shapes, the 4, which are the 4 here, the type, which are the 4 here, and then the monogram, which are the 4 here. So I gave you little keywords on the side to kind of help you think around the idea of composition and how to use these shapes within these boxes. Playful, what does that mean? What does playful look like just using shapes in a white box? What is type going to look like just using 2 letter forms or 1 playfully placed around the white box? And again, a monogram, your initials. How is it going to look playful in the box? I'm going to show you just a few of these. I'm going to do 1 set of play and 1 set of rhythm that'll get you kind of started. So again, you can use any of the shapes. The only requirement is that you cannot use color. This is solely black and white. So be mindful. You need to spend some time on this to really get something that might be really interesting. So let's start off with our rectangle. We're going to make sure that these are all black and white. And because we're probably going to use fill for your shapes, let's start out with fill and no stroke. So I'll take my shape and I'm just going to put a couple shapes in here. And what I'm also going to do is use my zoom and make sure this is all I see in my workspace. I just want to concentrate solely on this plane. Playful is the ask. How do I make something playful? So I'm just going to make it a little less complicated and just do triangles and squares. And kind of like scale them up and down, maybe break the plane. Remember, you can't see anything on the gray, only on the white do you see. So maybe, some of it's coming off the paper. You could just do 1 shape. You don't have to do multiple shapes. Maybe that's easier. And sometimes while I'm working, I just kind of throw things on the side so that I can continue to just work on stuff and move things around. Is it breaking off the edge? So you'll do that again until you find a really playful composition. And then rhythm. What's rhythm? So here I'm going to try to do a whole bunch of circles. So I might just add circles and then kind of see where it goes. Starting to be some sort of rhythm happening. I might play with it a little bit more, get the spaces a little bit different. Different sizes might make more of a rhythm. Maybe there'd be a kind of wave scenario. So there's a lot to do with just black and white and a few shapes. Next, we're going to go to type. And you can start out with just the letter. So remember, we're going to pull a type box out, and I'm just going to put P in here. And again, let's get the magnifying and get this really close. I did a capital P, but you can do lowercase and uppercase. So I'm going to make this larger, and you can do that again by coming to the panel. If you know it's going to be really large, you can just type it in. Let's make this 500. And I know that when I did 500, it's going to break the type box and I'm going to need to pull it. Which, it might be nice to have the typeface because, like I said, you can go back and choose any character you want. You might lose it. You might have to pull the type box out if you choose a different character. Whoa. So that's that one. So it might be interesting to keep it so that you can play with it and add different characters to it. So I think it's getting a little playful here. You can add the R in if you wanted. So there's a lot of freedom in this. You can to do whatever you want. You just need to capture the feeling and vibe of what is called out on its row. So playful. Is this playful? And remember, you can outline too, right? So what does it look like when you outline some of these? All right, so there's kind of a playful P and R. And then when we get into rhythm, you can maybe even just make the type a lot smaller. And what is it like if you just fill it with a whole bunch of P's? Easier to select a whole bunch of P's, copy, and then paste, and then keep pasting. So there's a lot of playful ways that you could go about making this into a pattern. Think about the composition, the layout. And then here, I would think about doing your initials. Think about it as a logo. My initials. I'm going to pick a type I like, and I'm going to make sure I outline it. So I need to use the selection tool, and then I need to go to type, outline. I think this is just a little bit easier. I'm just going to make sure it's ungrouped. And I'm always going to use the selection tool, the group selection tool. I think it'll be easier to kind of manipulate it, move it around, bring it up and down in the space, make it larger or smaller. You can always do E again very quickly to adjust it. How do you break the plane? Right, so that's cropping it out. And what's the space left? So you're only really seeing what's in the box. Remember that. I think this is playful, right? So how does playful look in a logo or a monogram? And then for rhythm, that would be kind of tricky, but how do you get a rhythm with yours? So maybe you bring in some pattern ideas. So the true purpose is really to get you thinking about rhythm and play with the shapes and form and move them around. Connect them, disconnect them, make them large, make them small. Really just have fun. And like I said, this should take you some time. So this lesson should at least take 3 hours. So the next thing is that you should save the file. And for this class, I would make sure that you create a folder to house all of your work that you do for the class, because you'll need it later on. So it's best to just have it in a place that you have access to. So let's save a copy, and you can see when this pops up, I'm going to my desktop, I can make a new folder. So let's make a new folder and just call it AI project 1. So that's everything in you're going to do for Illustrator. All the projects for Illustrator. And then I'll create, and then I'll save it in there. So now I'll have my monogram, which I'll put my initials in. So please put your initials in or your last name, some way I can know that it's yours, and save it. So we're going to go to Save As, and we're going to go into Adobe PDF. And you can see that it says use artboards, and we're definitely going to do that. We're going to make sure that that's on. So I need to see a PDF when you upload it to Canvas. Super important that I have a PDF and not your original file. There's going to be projects and I'm going to want both, but for this exercise, I just need the PDF. And in here, I would take off everything except for maybe view after it's saved, which is nice because once you save it, you can grab it and just upload it into Canvas. And you want to look over and make sure it really looks the best you can make it before you submit it. And then it'll open up like this. So it really can show your composition. It shows that there's going to be images that are cut off, how your dots are. It's kind of fun to see them, finished. Good luck on the project, and I can't wait to see it.